This is Maggie. I've had a lot of people ask me about how I do my smoky eye technique whenever I do my makeup on a daily basis. So I want to do a video to show you how I go about doing that. Usually I will start out with a beige kind of color on my all over my lid, and then that way I can have something that kind of, I use my Merle Norman shadow base, and I put that shadow base on. It's just a little bit, and it helps your eye makeup really pop out. I will then go and, don't mind the video here, the Younique has their shadows, and they come in these little clear containers, and the little container looks about like that. The lid on the top pops open, so you can open it up, shake a little bit of powder into the lid of your top, and then I would go and I would just tap just a little bit of shadow, and then I start and do a triangle. I've already did it once because I've already messed up with the video once. I do a triangular shape when I do my shadow, and I just lightly apply it. It looks darker now because I've put multiple attempts on. Anyway, if you go through and just upward and crease it around and do downward and then kind of make it the nice little triangular look there, then that way you can make sure that you want to make sure that your color is the same, darker on the outsides and lightly blending into the middle on both eyes. That can be a problem if you're going to do your makeup and one eye is darker than the other one, so I like to just take a step back, raise my eyelids, look, see if I need to use my fingertips to shadow it in or anything like that. The next step I use is a liquid eyeshadow, and I put a little dab on my finger, and then I would just put some on for my eye and put them on both. I feel like when I use the liquid shadow that my eye makeup pops out a little bit more. If I don't use the shadow, liquid shadow, it doesn't pop as much, and the color still shows up, but it is more intense if you do it the other way. The next thing I would do is then take a little bit of my lighter shadow, and then I go back over the top and do my lightest, brightest kind of color that I got there, and I didn't get enough, so I'm going to get just a little bit more and pop it down into my little lid. I'm going to shake it out. There we go. Okay. Then put a little bit on there, and then I just kind of feather it across my lid. That way I can have my, this was what I would do as my fashion color. Like if I wanted blue here for the day, or if I wanted green, or any other color. I chose silver because I got my Alabama roll tide on today. So as you can see the difference between the one with and the one without any of the color and just the shadow base. Then I would go through and do my other eye. Just kind of pat and feather on my eyelid. You don't need to heavy streak it or anything like that. Just a nice little pat on that eye. There. Then you can see I've got my lighter and I've got my darker. But the pet peeve I have, when I go to do it, there we go, that on my crease right there on that lid, that I don't care for. So that's when I would go and I would take a little bit of that previous color that had the dark on there, and I would just feather it in a little bit. I think I grabbed the wrong color, but you get the idea. Go back and do the dark. Then I would take, at this point, and I would take my black, and I take my liner brush, and I just gradually go on my lid. And go through, because a lot of people don't mess with it, and their mascara then is black, and their eye through here is still light. It just kind of helps give a little bit of depth to the eye without having that difference so where you can still see skin come through and still have that light pop through. So we'll do the other eye real quick. And just shadow. Make sure that you touch your eyelashes. A lot of people don't touch their eyelashes and it does not blend in.
How does my hair look?
There we go. Okay, now I think that looks okay, presentable. Put a little bit more dark in here. That's the other thing I will do. Sometimes I'll go back with my my liner brush, and when I've done my lid liner, then I'll kind of go with the dark, and I'll just do a little bit of a triangle and feather it just down here at the bottom. That way it'll give it that extra pop in the corner and the crease to help give it that darkness. We'll do this side. This may look really dark on this video, but I promise you if I was to look up into my mirror, it doesn't look all that dark. And when I go out in public, it's not going to look all that dark. So, that's that. Some people can stop. Got a little on my cheek there. I'll fix that in a minute. But some people would do, you can either do your regular eyeliner or not. I usually will still put on a black liner, which I'm trying to open. And then I will just go ahead and do a little bit of liner. I'll be out in a minute.
I brushed my hair.
Okay, thank you. Perks of having kids. Okay, so let's just kind of lighten that up a little bit. Alright, so then I've got that on. And then the next step would be your mascara, and that will, I will follow up with that one in a video in just a minute because I need to open up my mascara. But that would be how I do my smoky eye, and then start to finish. Thanks.